Today's program has been brought to you by TechServe, New York's original and still the best Apple computer, iPod, and iPhone store and repair shop. For more information, visit techserve.com. You're listening to Heritage Radio Network, broadcasting live from Bushwick, Brooklyn. If you like this program, visit heritageradionetwork.org for thousands more.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, snacky tunes. I can't find my friends, but I don't need them to dance. I go, let me go, let me go, let me go. I ain't got no dough, but I don't need it to roll. I go, let me go, let me go, let me go. I got everything I need as long as you are here with me, and I'm not gonna leave, 'cause it feels right with you here with me. Let me go, let me go, let me go. We don't need to flirt, because I've been putting in the work, and baby, you ain't gonna stop until I hear you part of me go. Let me go. I wanna hear you go. Let me go. What am I doing now? Where am I going now? I don't need to know, and I don't care. Do just what you want with me. I'll be what you want me to be. You can take me anywhere. I'm gonna try to dance, and it's gonna go a little bit like this. You been in a club before? I said, you been in a club before? And it goes like left foot and your left hand, left foot and your left hand, left foot and your left hand, right foot. Stop! All right. And now your right foot and your right hand, right foot and your right hand, right foot and your right hand, right foot. Stop! I got everything I need as long as you are here with me, and I'm not gonna leave, 'cause it feels right with you here with me. Let me go, let me go, let me go, let me hear you 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 go.
Yes. Great. Eli Reed, welcome back to Snacky Tunes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
You were you were, I think, a guest before we had a theme song.
It was like a solid 4 years ago at this point.
Easy. I mean, we're coming up. I mean, this August will be episode 200, and 5-year anniversary will kind of hit around the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
Thanks.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks. We Eli was if you want to check it out, if you go to the Heritage Radio Network SoundCloud, Eli was on the very first Snacky Tunes comp, where I think your backup was a plate and a fork. That was your percussion.
Sounds about right.
And we'll actually be having Snacky Tunes Volume 5 coming out in May in conjunction with the 7th year of the Barbecue Blowout. So,
Do I get to be on that one too?
you'll be on number 6.
And number 6. Okay.
We put number 5 to bed, and number 6. So, yeah. But you're going to be hearing, we're going to talk about the new record, hear some songs from Eli in a little bit. But up first, we have Eduardo Porto Carreiro live here on Snacky Tunes. Welcome.
Thank you. So good to be here.
Sommelier, DBGB, handsome looking man, and looking very good for popping bottles of Burgundy all night. You look well put together.
I think it's all about the timing of the espresso in the morning.
Yeah, when do you? There's been studies coming out about when you're actually supposed to drink your coffee. It's supposed to be like a little bit after, not first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I'm a true believer in hydration. Everyone that I've worked with knows my hydration proclamation across the nation situation, and that I need to have a glass of water for every beverage that I consume, and certainly in the morning, first things first, water, then espresso.
Do you really go 1-on-1?
I do.
I mean, because so many people say, like, even from like playing shows, they're like, go 1-on-1, and you're
yeah.
like, you
Absolutely.
you might start like 1-on-1, and then on your fourth drink, you're like, I'm getting kind of full in there.
I have friends that actually make fun of me and call me the camel. Yeah, I'm big on the water.
I mean, mazel tov, because it looks like it. So I want to go back a little bit, because you have had wine basically in your life from forever.
Yes, I was a wee little lad sipping, or I'm not sure I'm allowed to say this in the U.S., but yes, I would be sipping a wine from my parents' glasses as I was a youth.
Did they encourage it, or was it a sneak, or?
I suppose it was easier to do it since it wasn't in the U.S. I kind of grew up all over the place.
Yeah.
I made my way through different countries and sneaking sips of wine throughout those countries. And I think it was a combination of, hey, this is really good. You should try this with this.
Yeah.
And it sort of became part of, oh, gosh, I like this taste.
So like maybe instead of your 10,000 hours, you have your 10,000 sips.
Outstanding. Well played. Malcolm Gladwell had something on that, to be sure.
But you didn't get started in a restaurant. You started stocking wine, right?
Yeah. My first gig outside of school, when I really decided that I didn't want to do the investment banking and corporate thing, was, hey, what do I want to do? And I started in a little wine shop, and I was.
Do you remember the name?
Yeah.
Shout it out.
Greenblatt's Deli and Fine Wine Shop.
A deli and fine wine.
This is one of the most magical places in LA. It's actually on the Sunset Strip. It's an old school deli, probably 80 years old now. Awesome pastrami sandwich.
Is that next to the Comedy Store?
It is.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah. No, next to the Laugh Factory.
The Laugh Factory.
Yes.
Factory. Like right across, there's a big mall across the
It
street
is
there
such
on
a
Sunset.
good pastrami sandwich. You have no idea.
I've had the pastrami
I'm
sandwich
so happy to
at
hear
that deli,
that.
and it is delicious.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
And so you have this half deli, half awesome wine store situation, where you'd see people roll in and drop $2,000 on a bottle of Bordeaux and have it with a Reuben. And I said, like, what is going on here?
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And what ages was that job?
Oh gosh, I graduated college at 21. I had this job about 2 months after I graduated college.
And how did that begin to shape your career in wine, working in the store versus, say, like if you just like started in a restaurant?
Gosh, that's a good question. I was very poorly compensated for that job. I in essence was an $8 an hour clerk, and I saw that I had an opportunity to pretend that wasn't my compensation, and I said, hey, let me see what I can take from this. So effectively it became just a boot camp for tasting, learning, asking questions. It's pretty cool.
What was like one of the big lessons that you took away from, like, one was like the one, like maybe like an aha moment?
I should say that it happens to be a continuous aha moment, but every lesson, every bottle, everything that I taste makes me realize that I really don't know anything about the subject.
Still to this day.
Yeah. There's so much to learn. It's crazy.
I can. And so from there you moved on to Grace.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incrable. And how did that happen?
Happenstance. I was at a barbecue at a buddy's place who knew his neighbor, who happened to be the opening wine director at Grace Restaurant, that ended up being a pretty baller spot in LA, and that neighbor was walking by as I was on the patio that day, and that neighbor introduced me to him. We got to talking, chatting, and he was able to get my resume to the GM's desk, and then I ended up interviewing, and they offered me a job as a food runner.
But how did you transition food runner to working on the wine side?
I think I used my wily ways to sort of just sneak in there. The wine director at the time was kind of fascinated at this young food runner asking so many questions about wine. So I never stopped asking, and he kind of got to the point where, you know what, this guy probably wants to keep on learning. And eventually I made it up to expediter, waiter, and then when I became a waiter, he said, help me out with a program. And I was able to help him out and sort of became his assistant.
And how many years were you there?
I was at Grace from opening day to closing day. That was about, gosh, I want to say 7 years, 6.5, 7 years. I was a sommelier there for 6.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you still stayed in LA after that, right?
I did. I was loving life out there, man. The weather, the good people. It was fun.
And you ended up at Father's office, right?
Sang Yoon, the chef owner of Father's office, that has 2 outlets over there, wanted to open up a actual restaurant, and I say actual in air quotes, because he had been doing the gastropub thing for a while, and he wanted to go back to his cooking ways. So he opened up a Lakshan restaurant in Culver City, Southeast Asian cuisine. And when he opened that up, he said, I need a beverage person to help me out. So, yeah.
And it was different from the burger gastropub vibe. What type of food was served there?
Yeah, Lakshan is, in my opinion, still one of the coolest, more cutting-edge restaurants, just because of its absolute focus on the authenticity of flavors. So Sang Yoon, as a chef, has these 2 cool spots that are super casual called Father's Office and Lakshan. So the difference is that it was a pretty rad restaurant, and going over there, starting the beverage program over there, and then eventually transitioning to doing the beverage program for the entire restaurant group was really exciting because I got to play with lots of wine that could go well with cuisines that normally didn't have a lot of wine associated with them, as well as then playing ball with wine for more casual spots.
So what were some of your more unique pairings when you're out there?
It was the wonderful introduction to something called mala. Mala is Szechuan. It's that. Have you ever had Szechuan peppercorn?
Yeah.
That almost numbing feeling.
Yeah.
So mala is the combination of hot and numb. And when you have a great Szechuan dish, not only do you feel wickedly spicy, but also numbing sensations.
So what do you drink with that, since you can't? I mean, I know every time I've had Szechuan, like I can barely taste the water, or it's like a weird sensation.
Totally weird. Yeah, it's almost like buzzing.
Yeah.
I played around with a lot of different things. We ended up deciding that fluffy, high carbonation triples beers were some of the best pairings for that, because they even enhance that buzzing mala feeling. That was a cool pairing. And then the other pairing, if you wanted to be a bit more correct in the sommelier, again air quotes, style of things, really neat off-dry or slightly sweet Rieslings were really fantastic with that.
And what could you? I mean, besides like the physical feeling of the carbonation, could you actually could you taste the beer or the Riesling, or was it just more like the sensation because there were bubbles in Riesling, bubbles in the carbonation?
Yeah, I think I like to think that we could taste. I mean, taste has so much to do with texture as well, and then you're playing into the aromatics of the situation. So I think that it created a really neat. I mean, next time you go for takeout, get a half bottle of sweet Riesling and a bottle of really cool Belgian Abbey triples, and have it with super spicy numbing Szechuan, and then do it side by side. That could be pretty fun.
There's that place on 33rd La Venus Restaurant that's actually BYOB. So next to it. So LA is great, beautiful weather, but here you are in New York.
Yeah.
So what brought you to New York?
The love of my life.
Where did you meet?
I fell in love with this gal. The 2 of us actually met in Germany a few years back. She used to be a sommelier when I was actually still a sommelier at Grace. She was a sommelier at a restaurant in New York called The Modern. The 2 of us were invited on the same wine trip, and we were in Germany, and we became acquainted and took an interest in one another. Nothing really happened for another year after that. We just started correspondence, and then we kind of dug each other and started dating, did the long distance thing, and then eventually said, I'm tired of flying to New York once a month. Why don't I just move?
And so we probably didn't stay jobless for long. Where did you end up?
You know, it's pretty neat. I had a really awesome mini vacation when I first moved here, looking for a job because I didn't have one when I arrived. And through a few friends from back west, I finagled a little meeting with a guy named Daniel Jonas. Daniel Jonas is this uber sommelier, the guy who's in charge of all of the Daniel Boulou restaurants for wine, as it were. And we chatted, we talked, and long story short, he hooked me up with a little job in the Danielle Ballou restaurant group. We were, they needed a sommelier on the Upper West Side for the Ballou Sud Bar Ballou restaurant corner. And I started there just a couple months after I moved out. It was pretty fun.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear a song from Jungle, who had a great time at South by Southwest, and then we're going to come back and talk about the programs you do at DBGB, some of the conversations you have, and your fixture in the Lower East Side wine scene. We got Eli Reed coming up in a little bit, playing live.
Is it too late now to change your mind? Do we have to go back inside? In this grand garden, there's no more malaise. So you come outside and pay me mind. And I will see what Milady thinks, if she might call on me tonight. She is out of sight, you know I'm right. She is luxuries, she is dreamy things. She's a lady in the high castle, whose empire never ended. And I feel alive, inspired by some mad god. And I will arrive if she calls on me tonight. I hope she calls on me tonight.
Woo! It's a good Sunday afternoon track. We have Eduardo, sommelier extraordinaire from DBGB, live on Snacky Tunes. So, talk about some of the programs that you've kind of instituted. I mean, you've only been there for a short amount of time.
Yeah, I actually just hit my 6-month mark at DBGB Kitchen and Bar on the Bowery. Pretty fun, man. I've been a sommelier now for I think 11 years, and being in New York 2 years now, feeling the Upper West Side action. To come down to the East Village and to do a beverage program down there is so exciting. DBGB is about to turn 5 years old, and it's had a pretty great I don't know, accolades for their beverage program over the years. So it's been really neat to add my style to the equation.
And how has that worked? Like, I mean, you've only been there 6 months. Like, how has the handoff been from, let's say day one to, year 5? Like, how has it evolved?
Yeah. I tell you, DBGB opened up as a mecca to the more casual things that Danielle Ballou, fantastic Michelin-starred chef, loved. He said, I want to open up a spot that has delicious burgers, sausages, ice cream sundaes, and I also want a place where people can feel comfortable and drink beers and have good values. So the lists has always been focused on great beer and great wines of value. It started in a bit more of a small facet, and over the years the beverage directors have sort of taken their different routes, and I think right now at the cusp of the 5-year mark, which is probably going to coincide with 5-year anniversary of Snacky Tunes.
We should have them on the radio.
Yeah, that'd be
awesome. We'll take 5 years. Actually, one of the first dinners that we had was with Patrick, who's the founder of Heritage. One of the first dinners we had when we started the show, as maybe 6 months in, was having dinner at DBGB.
That's awesome.
Maybe we should do a little something. Let's talk about that after.
Yeah, we will, to be sure, man. It's exciting to be here, sort of celebrating almost a renewal with DBGB. We have a new executive chef down there, a guy named Charlie Foster, who's ridiculously talented. We've been doing this little monthly series called Conversations at the Kitchen Table. table, and it's essentially taking all the philosophies and ideas that Danielle Boulou instilled with the creation of DBGB and doing it in a smaller stage. There's a tiny little PDR in the back of the restaurant, and we do these dinners with really great pairings, with tremendous food, and just discuss in a more casual conversational style the food, the beverage, why they work together, where they come from, who the purveyors are, so on and so forth. So I digress, but in the grand scheme of things, I want to say that DBGB beverage-wise right now is in a place where it's kind of focused on the really great values of the world, and that's across the board, everything from fantastic $36 Provençal non-vintage red wine that's just utterly delicious and easy drinking, to a really posh and refined and lovely red Burgundy, to scores of Cru Beaujolais that I find are one of the best values out there.
And what defines value for you?
Great question. Wow, that's like a college entrance essay question right there, especially for a sommelier. I think that value for me is something that at any price point reflects an exceeding of expectation. So if I have $20 in my pocket and I say, I want to feel so good that I was able to steal this experience with just $20, that to me is that bottle of beer that's $19. That's one of the most rare beers around, but you can pick it up for $19 and it's exquisite and you'll never forget that moment. That's something that many people might want to drop $100 for, but you're only getting it for $20. And similarly, you get that with bottles of wine. I mentioned Cru Beaujolais just moments ago. This is a little area that's gotten poo-pooed for so long, and now finally is getting this renaissance, and all the sommeliers are talking about it because it's the stuff that we can afford. People say that being a sommelier is living like a pauper and drinking like a king. And I completely agree, because we kind of have the insights as to where you can find the wines that you don't have to spend too much on, but taste like they are much more expensive.
I mean, and how do you balance that for a restaurant where it's like so much of your, revenues are made in the alcohol beverage program? How do you providing value for your customers with going like, well, if we upsell them a little bit, we're going to have that much better of a year?
Yeah. I love that you use that word, upsell. One of the first people that I ever worked with, this wonderful general manager named Amy Noel Fraser, she's the first person who hired me for a restaurant at Grace. She banned that word from restaurants, upsell.
Really?
Yeah. She said, I do not want to hear this at all. This is not what we're about. We are about service to our guests. And thankfully, I'm in a place that feels that as well. I mean, DBGB across the board, from the food to the drinks, are all about value rather than upselling. We want to get guests back in there. We want people to have an experience, feel like, I really need to come back tomorrow, or next week, or next month is my birthday. I want to bring a bunch of friends here to enjoy this, because this is a place that isn't going to hurt the pocketbook,
right,
and it's fun. So with regards to how do we balance it, I think that we look at the bigger picture and say, let's just bring more people in, and that it will all balance out in the long run, rather than like looking for that percentage.
Right. So we talk about a wine like Cru Beaujolais that like has been poo-pooed. Like, how does a wine come around? Like, how does something like it obviously the product is consistent, the grapes are good, the purveyor's the same. What changes sommelier's mind?
I think open-mindedness is probably the most important trait of any good sommelier, and I'm happy to sort of be riding the wave of open-mindedness in 2014. I think a lot of my colleagues and a lot of folks in this business are really allowing everything to roll in, from Eastern European wines to spots that were forgotten, to even wines that people 5 years ago said were overblown. They're revisiting because they realize that they always need to check in on those quote-unquote overblown things. If you keep an open mind, those things will come back around. And specifically in this turnaround that maybe even started with a 2008 economic downturn, people are like, where can we get great wines, great values, at less expensive prices? And that's where Muscadet came back. That's where Beaujolais came back. That's where folks started pouring wines from Croatia and Slovenia.
Well, before we turn this over to Eli, I got one question left for you. What is your perfect glass of wine? Like which? I know that I had, and I wish when I was younger, Regina, but I had a glass of Syrah when I was younger that like really was like, this is the quintessential red wine for me. What for you is like, if you were to someone had never had a glass of wine before, be like, this is the definition of.
That's wonderful, and I love having Eli in the studio, because I think for me the definition of perfection in wine is harmony. It really is. It's all those notes together, just creating this beautiful tone and just hitting your gut in such a way that you're like, it all makes sense. For me, balance and harmony.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us. Can you give people the nuts and bolts of where they can find you, information about the restaurant, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. DBGB Kitchen and Bar. Check it out on the website, dbgb.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just do a Google search. I am there a lot. Tuesdays through Saturdays for sure, and oftentimes on Sundays and Mondays when I'm not hanging out here at Heritage Radio. But it's a fun spot. Great burgers, sausages, relaxed environment, and awesome beer and wine. If you have any questions about beverage, please ask for me. I love talking.
Amazing.
Yeah. If I die before I wait, if I die before I wait, my soul too tight. If I die before I wait, if I die before I wait, my soul too tight. If I die before I wait, if I die before I wait, my soul too tight. These niggas fake. Dave Chappelle, you come and have bait. Austin 316, nigga got big drinks. Mark out the beats. Austin 316, nigga got big drinks. Mark out the beats. Austin 316. Nigga got big dreams. Mark up the beats. Mark up the beats. Mark up the beats. Coming in like Steph Curry. If I die before I'm famous. Hope that these niggas stop faking. Hope that these niggas stop hating. Hope that these niggas stop playing. Hope that these niggas stop playing. 6 niggas at my wake. 6 niggas at the pearly gates. 6 niggas lining up the yay. 6 niggas lining up the yay. 6. Got these niggas shaking. Got these niggas shaking. Assalamu alaikum. Mama in the front seat crying, church bells ringing, everybody dying. Fuck what I like, lay on my start is my black-headed light. All these niggas stuck in the middle path. Got C Nash, I'ma hit him with the pass. If I die before I wait, if I die before I wait, my soul too tight. If I die before I wait, if I die before I wait, my soul too tight. If I die before I wait, if I die before I wait, my soul too tight. These niggas fake. Dave Chappelle, you coming out babe. But Austin 316, nigga got big dreams. Mark out the beats, Austin 316, nigga got big dreams. Mark out the beats, Austin 316, nigga got big dreams. Mark out the beats, mark out the beats, mark out the beats. Coming in my nigga like Steph Curry. Yeah.
Eli, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
I mean, I really think it has been like 4 or so years since you were here.
I think, well, the last time I was here was right before my last album came out, which unfortunately was 4 years ago, which is really crazy to think about. But now I've got a new record coming out, and here we are back again. This is on my promotional stop.
No, I mean, hey, I'll take. Hopefully, it won't be like 4 years to the next one, but yeah,
I would hope not. I would hope not.
So let's talk about the record.
Sure, man.
Tell us about it. I mean, recorded almost a year ago.
Yeah.
What was I know you recorded with like one of your longtime collaborators. You know, what was the approach on this one versus the previous records?
Well, I mean, it took 4 years, sort of for a reason. After I did my record for Capitol, which is Come and Get It in 2010, and we really, I didn't even really take a break from touring. I stopped touring, recorded it in 4 weeks or whatever, and then went right back on the road. So we were literally touring almost from late 2007 through 2012, like without really any long extended breaks of more than a month or two. It was a really extensive period of touring, which is great, and I was really excited. And after that kind of tapered off, I was ready to do another record for Capitol, and then they got bought out by EMI, was bought out by Universal, and things kind of went to hell, and they didn't renew my contract at Capitol. And my buddy Mike Elizondo, who produced Come and Get It, basically right then same week called me and said, "Would you like to make a record for Warner Brothers?" I just got this deal being a staff producer at Warner Brothers. They let me have an A&R job, which basically means he gets to sign acts. And I was his first call. He's like, "Hey, come and make a record at Warner Brothers." And I was like, "Okay, can I do it myself?" And they were like, "Yeah." Everybody was really supportive of me, and we had a few songs that were already written, but not all of it. And sort of from that, we took myself. When I say we, I'm always talking about myself and my friend Ryan Spraker, who was my guitarist for a long time and has now become my right-hand man for production and writing and just about everything. We took a bunch of trips out to Los Angeles and did writing sessions with a whole host of different writers and different kinds of writers, from a hip-hop producer to a rock producer to a rock songwriter. It's just to kind of see how people wrote songs, because I had been just used to just sitting at home with my acoustic guitar and, I'd bang it out, and I wouldn't really I was sort of still under the sway of if I can't get it done in 7.5 minutes, then it's not a good song. And I kind of was gradually starting to move away from that and writing from, however these guys wrote. So some guys were like, "Oh man, I got this sick, drum beat. Let's try to build something around that." Or this bass line has been rolling around in my head. Let's work from that. Or this synth line, or this whatever, this vocal melody. So that was a whole different idea of how to make a record, how to write a song, that sort of kind of changed my whole approach. And because of that, it was a little bit of a trial and error, and we wrote probably somewhere on the order of 40 songs for this record that ended up being 11 songs. But the process was honestly sort of the best part, And when it came to actually record the record, so much of it in a way was already done, because we had been demoing things more aggressively, and it was like, okay, we just got to put the finishing touches on this, and then it's ready to go.
And what were some of the, again, the same thing with Eduardo, what were some of the aha moments you got from the writing process that have maybe stuck with you and will continue to influence you?
I think the biggest thing, I worked a lot actually with a guy, Michael Fitzpatrick, who people know as Fitz from Fitz and the Tantrums, who's the lead singer, and he is really he has a very particular style, and sometimes we don't get along when it comes to writing, but we wrote...
In what way?
Just he's very set in his how he feels a song should be built or whatever, and just he has a style.
Got it.
He has a style, and I have a style, and sometimes you might think that those two things we would butt heads, and we did a little bit, but in a way it was very good, because what he really stressed to me was that vocal melody was something that you have to have a vocal melody that's going to catch people's attentions right away. And for me, coming as a background from as really a soul singer, or coming from gospel music, and most of the singers that I love and the songs that I love from that era, the records that I love, aren't really about vocal melody. They're more about the virtuosity of the singers, and the power of the singers. You could just make anything a soul record by just if you have a good enough soul. You see, listen to Wilson Pickett sing "Hey Jude." He doesn't really sing the melody; he sings like Wilson Pickett. You know what I mean? And that's sort of what makes it him. But Fitz's idea, and an idea that I eventually came around to, was that you can sing that same way, but if you set the melody up, if you adhere strictly to the melody, then you're going to be able to catch people's ears more and get people on board faster to your songs.
Wow. I never thought about it that way. Do you have an example for anything?
It's hard, I think a lot of the songs on this record, which is called Nights Like This, by the way, and it comes out April 29th.
Oh, we're going to plug the shit out of it.
Sure.
That's 1 of 10.
1 of 10.
Yeah.
So it is I think really most of them we really focused on the melody, even more than... I was such a words guy, and I still am, and I think I'm very interested in making sure the lyrics are right, but we, agonized over making sure the melody was it really hit home, right away, that was in your head,
Do you want
from the get go.
Do you want to play us a tune, a good example of this?
Sure. Well, this is actually, I'm going to play. This is the first single. We did Woohoo, which you played earlier, which is kind of our sort of teaser single. It was a little bit of a pre-launch And this is the first one that's going to go to radio, hopefully already on the radio in Europe, and then hopefully will be on the radio here in the U.S. In the late spring, early summer. And this is called Shock to the System. This is one that I wrote with Fitz and Ryan and a great rock producer by the name of Dave Bassett.
Great.
Actually, I just want to say really quick, this is the first song that we wrote for this record. The first session that we ever did, got out there with Fitz and Dave and banged this out in 4 or 5 hours, and I had no idea if it was good or not, and apparently people like it, so that's good. This is called Shock to the System.
She walked in my life and turned it upside down. I hollered, hey, hey, hey. I was serious about her, but she made me a clown. I hollered, hey, hey, hey. I was feeling lost, I didn't know how I could be found. I hollered, hey, hey, hey. Oh, she set me straight and put my feet on the ground. I hollered, hey, hey, hey. I was skipping like a record, a song on repeat, till she flipped the 45 and knocked me off my feet. Oh, like a shock to the system, kick to the rhythm, jumpstart the beat of my heart. Got what I'm missing, a high voltage kissing, turn me on and there's no chatting me up. Oh. They said they couldn't tell if I was dead or alive. I hollered, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, she pulled me out the water and she let me survive. I hollered, hey, hey, hey. I was skipping like a record, a song on repeat, till she flipped the 45 and knocked me off my feet. Ow! Like a shock to the system, kick to the rhythm, jumpstart the beat of my heart. Got what I'm missing, or how about just kissing, turn me on and there's no chatting me up. She's chatting me on, oh Lord, chatting me on. Whoa. Stay with me all night long. Oh. Like a shock to the system, kick to the rhythm, she jumpstart the beat of my heart. Got what I'm missing, a high voltage kissing, turn me on and there's no turning me up. Shock to the system, kick to the rhythm, jumpstart the beat of my heart. Got what I'm missing, a high voltage kissing, turn me on and there's no turning me up. Oh no, baby. Ooh, turning me on, yeah, baby. Shock to the system, turn me on and there's no turning me up.
Amazing.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was great. So when you're putting a song together like that with 5 people, how does it come together? How does it not fall into like death by committee or lowest common denominator?
It's funny, you would think that it would. You really would. And these were the first sessions that I had done with like more than one other person. I think everybody kind of finds their role. In that particular session, I was really the one focused on the lyrics and kind of like making the lyrics and vocal melody fit together and making it my own because it's my voice. And then Dave was kind of building the track. That's the thing with writing songs these days. You can come out of a session in 4 hours with something that sounds like kind of a finished product, which is really bizarre for me. And I never really... I would always like send in demos with just me and a guitar, So, part of writing the song is making it sound like a record already. So Dave was working on the drums, and then Fitz was building the kind of keyboard lines and making sure the harmony all fit together. And then, I know Ryan and I were kind of working on the lyrics and melody together. You just, it becomes like a team. And if you work together well, then you're a winning team. And if you don't, then you're a losing team.
Yeah, I mean, did you have any, like, sessions that you walked into where you're just like, this is not going well, we need to get out of here?
Absolutely. I'm not going to name any names.
No, I mean,
but
we never do here.
Yeah, I mean, some sessions are just busts. Even if you have a good team, some sessions can be busts. But I think that, well, the way that we kind of approached it was Ryan and I were like, well, we know how to write the way that we write, but we're pretty versatile and adaptable. Let's try to write the way that everybody else writes, and let's see how they want to start. Let's let them start, and then we can, both he and I play a lot of instruments. We both know how to work kind of within different parameters, so we decided to just let the other writers take the lead, and then we were able to, turn the song or whatever, the quality of things towards our way of thinking.
Right, and so, and what were some of the, and I know we talked about, like, the vocal melodies, but, like, by going that structure, like, what did you learn about your own process from letting other people take the lead?
I learned that my process was very narrowing. For me, like, I had never, just all these different ways of making music that I had never really even kind of touched on. And that was exciting. It was really cool to just see how other people were doing it.
And what was, one or two of the ways that, like, other people make music that you're like, whoa, I never thought about this, and now it's just coming with you outside of the vocal melody?
Sure. I mean, we wrote this track that's on the record called Lonely World, and we wrote this with this guy who goes by Rich Skills, and he's like he's a protege of one of the big hip hop producers, Polo de Don. So he's like all he does is hip hop, really, hip hop and some R&B. So he had this just like massive drum beat and this piano sort of like half progression. It was really very, very bare bones. All it was is piano and like big 808 kick and snare. And for a lot of people might hear that and be like, oh, we just got to get a rapper on this track. Like the beat is hot. Let's just get somebody. But Ryan and I were like, man, we could take this and put some kind of like 70s soul-ish guitar behind it and make it kind of sound like a Prince thing with a hip-hop beat. So that's sort of what we did. Like we heard it in a different light than people maybe in the same wheelhouse as he would. And he was cool enough to just let us kind of take the track and go with it,
So the new record, Nights Like This, is coming up, but you're doing some pre-shows, if you will.
Sure.
And I know you had a couple up in Boston and one at Union Pool, but what are the shows like?
Well, we're doing these shows. We kind of are taking the theme and running with it. Nights Like This with Eli Paperboy Reed. And the goal, at least right now, for before the album comes out, is we're playing. The big thing is myself and the band are playing the entire album, all the new songs, so people can come and hear all the new stuff even before it's out. We have great DJs who are spinning in between bands. We have a show coming up this Saturday, which is March 22nd at Studio Webster Hall, and some good friends of mine, High and Mighty Brass Band, are supporting, and they're an amazing, amazing band, and they play out on the floor. It's they have tuba and trombone and all that stuff. So the goal was to make it more of an event and not just a show that you go to and you pay your $12 and you stay and see the band for 40 minutes and then you leave. You want people to hang out and enjoy the vibe of the thing. That's like what we were trying to get across with the Nights Like This kind of concept.
Do you want to play another new song off the record?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to play one right now. This is one of my favorites. This is my alternate title to the record because I think it is sort of representative. But this is one that it was just Ryan and I. We wrote this together on one of our sessions, and this is called "Grown Up." It goes like this. I remember sitting on my living room floor, making sure my mother wasn't coming in the door with the radio blasting, singing. Back in 91, I was having too much fun. There was nothing that could make me stop relaxing. Thought I'd never grow old. How could I be so bold? But I've got a deal now. Shit is getting
getting real, so I put on my shoes and lace up. I know I've got to face up to the breakups and makeups and everything I screwed up. I've got to shape up. There's lost time to make up mistakes, to own up. 'Cause now somehow I'm a grown up. Yes, I'm a grown up. How you even know when's it even start? Someone give me lines, 'cause I don't know this party seems so easy. Nobody spends their days watching time go by. Close your eyes and jump and hope that you can fly. Can't believe it. Oh, thought I'd never grow old. How could I be so bold? But I've got a deal now. Shit is getting real, so I put on my shoes and lace up. I know I've got to face up to the breakups and makeups and everything I screwed up. I've got to shape up. There's lost time to make up mistakes, to own up. 'Cause now somehow I'm a grown up. Yes, I'm a grown up. Thought I'd never grow old. How could I be so bold? But I've got a deal now. Shit is getting real now. Shit is getting real now. So I put on my shoes and lace up. I know I've got to face up to the breakups and makeups and everything I screwed up. I've got to shape up. There's lost time to make up mistakes, to own up. 'Cause now somehow I put on my shoes and lace up. I know I've got to face up to the breakups and makeups and everything I screwed up. I've got to shape up. There's lost time to make up mistakes, to own up. 'Cause now somehow I'm a grown up. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm a grown up. Yes, I'm a grown up. Oh, I'm a grown up. Hey.
Yes.
Thank you.
I feel like that song is trying to send a message, but I just can't figure it out.
No, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's really subtle and, really shrouded lyrics.
Subtlety was never my strong suit.
I mean, is there any, besides, hiding the fact that people were just, fucking all the time in soul music, was there, much subtlety to soul music?
I don't think so. And I kind of don't think that's really what it's all about. I'm... to be perfectly honest with you, not really a fan of music that has too many subtleties, whether it's emotional or not. I think that there's a place for it, don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to say there isn't. I've sort of always been a heart on my sleeve kind of person. I think that I do enjoy tongue-in-cheek lyrics. I enjoy lyrics that can be funny or interpreted in a couple of different ways, but for the most part, I'm not writing poetry.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. That's me,
Yeah, no, you have to know your place.
I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy.
That's fine. So, along with a new record comes a tour.
Yes.
So, where are you heading out to?
Well, after we do this show, this will be the last New York show, March 22nd, I want to say again, Webster Hall, which is coming up this Saturday, less than a week. This will be the last show in New York before the record comes out. And then less than a month from then, we head to Europe. We're going to be in Europe basically from April 22nd through June 9th with a little bit of a break in between.
Okay.
But we're going Ireland, Scotland, England, Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, France, Germany, Italy, Spain.
Some real meat and potato places.
Yeah.
And any of them places close, near and dear to your heart that you're I'm so excited. Come back with welcome open arms.
I love Spain. We do very, very well in Spain, which has been a really... I have a great promoter over in Spain called Heart of Gold, and they've just done an amazing job really helping me to build a career over there. So we can go, and I will go and play it in Madrid for 2,500 people, and it's pretty amazing place to be able to go and hang out.
Eduardo, favorite Spanish wine?
Ooh, a little unsung spot in the northwest part. It's a grape called Mencía.
Sure.
Really light, easy drinking, so delicious.
He didn't even flinch. Look at that. He was ready.
I'm impressed.
He was ready.
We actually played when they recently did the unveiling for the white grape in Rioja, and we played at the they had a big
awesome.
event. And
What's the white grape unveiling?
I don't know what that's all about, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, apparently they have a white. Rioja is generally known for red wine, I would imagine, and they're apparently debuting some sort of genetic anomaly where they have a white Rioja grape.
So I mean, there are whites from Rioja, to be sure, that can be pretty fascinating and compelling wines. And I guess it was
I
a
really
good
don't
excuse
know.
to play good music.
That's pretty much. I mean, I enjoy Spanish wine. I don't know as much as I would like.
And then, are you coming back to the States at all for tour?
Yeah, we'll be back when we get back in June. Basically, that'll be around release time, and the goal is to kind of do these nights like this shows in probably 10 cities in June and July, and really kind of slowly break in to coming back to. It's actually been a very, very long time since I've toured extensively in the U.S., so I think the goal is to really try to get some music out there, whether it's on the radio or whatever, and then use that as a springboard to getting back on the road here in America.
That's
which
great.
is my real goal.
And you're playing in Philly on Friday.
Hey, on
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. In Philly on Thursday, we're doing like a little bit of a kind of an intimate evening with Eli Paperboy Reed, with just me and a couple other guys doing some tunes from the new record. But it's not the full on nights like this. But if you were in Philly, you should come out and see us at the Prince Theater on Thursday, which is the 20th.
Amazing. Well, before we have you play one more tune, where can people find you, sign up for email lists, pre-order the record, etc.?
Absolutely. Well, you can. The best place, I think, is to hit me up on Twitter, which is just at Eli Paperboy Reed, all one word, 2 E's at the end. Facebook is good too, facebook.com/Eli Paperboy Reed. The website is a thing that exists. I don't really know who runs it, but Twitter and Facebook are always good. I'm on Twitter. If you hit me up, I will hit you back. And record comes out April 29th. Shock to the System, which I just played, is out on iTunes right now, so you can go and buy that. It sounds really good. It sounds better than just me and a guitar, I promise.
It sounds pretty good here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, I have to say that you were one of the first performances where, when we started to look back and be like, oh, I actually think we can start making comps of all the live performances. It was like your performance with like with that and the fork on the plate percussion, which was like, I think just like a happy accident after we finished eating.
I feel like it was just somebody whoever it was, maybe somebody else was in here and decided to just use the fork and the plate, unless it was on the floor.
It was on the floor.
Was I just stomping on it?
You were just stomping, and we were just like, oh, that sounds actually.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I missed that. We should have done that.
Next time for hopefully in less than 4 years for the next record.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I also want to thank our other guest, Eduardo from DBGB. Thank you so much for spending your day off with us.
Thank you. So much fun.
And so stay tuned next week for another episode of Snacky Tunes. I will not be here, but Darren will be taking my place. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks for a very special birthday edition of we have the Richard Jenkins, who is a do you know him? Okay.
I know of him. I don't know him.
He is like old school piano player from around New York, like Carlisle type vibes. So
that'd be fun.
We thought that'd be really amazing. But all right, Eli, well, what are you going to take us out with?
We're going to do one. This is my favorite ballad on the record. I'm a big ballad guy, and we had to have one real powerful ballad, and this is called Two Broken Hearts.
Wait, and who wrote that? Did you write the ballad, or did you have help on it?
I wrote the ballad. Yeah.
Okay.
I write all the ballads. I mean, most of the lyrics are mine, but this is one of my this is probably my favorite song on the record, although I have to say that about all of them. Anyway, Two Broken Hearts.
You've been gone a week now, but I still haven't cried. Everything that you took from me, you still can't shake my pride. You told me all your secrets, and girl, I told you mine. if I get some off my mind. So baby, stand back, it's a heart attack. Gonna use your words to get you back. Pretty soon you'll see misery loves company. Keeping all your secrets just ain't no fun. Two broken hearts are better than one. Yeah, you said it's over, but I've just begun. Two broken hearts are better than one. I tried keeping us together, but you kept pulling us apart. Looking back, I knew that you were trouble from the start. You thought that you could break me, but I'm stronger than before. Yeah. You might think that you can take me, but girl, I'm gonna start a war. Oh yeah. So baby, stand back, it's a heart attack. Gonna use your words to get you back. Pretty soon you'll see misery loves company. Keeping all your secrets just ain't no fun. Two broken hearts are better than one. You said it's over, but I've just begun. Two broken hearts are better than one. Pretty soon everybody's gonna know. True colors are gonna show. Pretty soon everybody's gonna know. True colors are gonna show. Pretty soon everybody's gonna know. True colors are gonna show. Pretty soon you'll see misery loves company. Keeping all your secrets just ain't no fun. Two broken hearts are better than one. Oh, you said it's over, but I've just begun. Two broken hearts are better than one. Keeping all your secrets just ain't no fun. Two broken hearts are better than one. I know you said it's over, but I've just begun. Two broken hearts are better than one. Keeping all your secrets just ain't no fun. Two broken hearts are better than one.
Thanks for listening to this program on heritageradionetwork.org. You can find all of our archived programs on our website or as podcasts in the iTunes Store by searching Heritage Radio Network. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at @heritage_radio. You can email us questions at any time at info@heritageradionetwork.org. Heritage Radio Network is a non-profit organization. To donate and become a member, visit our website today. Thanks for listening.